have beef with Harmony Day.
Same.
Not actually Harmony Day because it's great.
Beautiful culture,
Love it.
enrichment program.
So good.
Culture, cultural.
Both.
Yeah, all of the above.
The culture is culturally enriching. Any kid, like our kids, with other cultures in their heritage get to really shine on a Harmony Day, and all the other kids get to learn things. And my kids have often come home going, Mum, I love fried rice. I
good.
love curry, because they try other foods. Yeah. You know?
I'm all for Harmony Day. I carry a lot of guilt, but I want to hear about your beef.
You know what? It's the orange. So basically, if you don't know, if you don't have a school-age child yet, it's a day at school where it's all about different cultures and how we all live together in harmony, lol. And, you know, if you have a different culture, you can present to the class. There's a parade of the different national dress. And then there's like food stalls with all the different cultural foods. Everyone can try different things from different countries. Lovely, right? Now, to make it inclusive, they've said you can wear the national dress or something that represents the country that your class is doing, or orange.
Because we all have a shitload of orange floating around.
No one has orange clothes. It's like, okay, cool. So we have to go buy an orange T-shirt.
I'm just scanning through my kids' wardrobes in my brain, and
There's
literally nothing is orange.
I challenge anyone to go through their kids' wardrobes and pull out an orange item. It's like they've gone, perfect, high vis. That's all I can think.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what's harder, finding the fucking Korean national dress or an orange T-shirt? Sometimes the orange T-shirt can be harder.
I concur.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just another fucking day.
Hey, I hear you. But I don't think Rafa has to do Harmony Day.
What?
No. I don't think she has it at her school.
Yes, she does, Jem.
Well, she might do something, but we don't have a dress. Did I miss an email?
I remember it last year. She definitely does.
Oh, okay.
Every school does Harmony Day.
My kid went to school in her school uniform while everyone else is a sea of orange.
Oh my God. Not even orange. A lot of people don't do the orange. It's just, it annoys me that it's like, that's the option.
Yeah.
Why can't it be white for peace? You know, or something.
End of last year, Rafa had Kindness Day, and that was wear pink and orange, and that was tricky.
Can't you just wear pink though in that scenario?
Can we just not do that?
Can we just not do these things?
Not do that. No, we need to embrace the sharing of cultures. I'm here for it.
It's good, but why orange? Why like literally any other color? Green,
Fine,
blue,
fine, red,
white, black.
Yep.
Let's just keep naming colors. They'd all be fine except orange. Anyway, let's do the episode.
We have 1,000 things to do, but we'd rather chat to you. With emails and meetings and husbands and kids, we don't have time for this. Just what you need, two basic bitches with a podcast.
Hello and welcome to We Don't Have Time for This. I'm your host, Gemma Pranita, aka Gemma Peanut from the Gram, along with my co-host,
Kate Broken Revz.
Oh, willkommen, my broken friend.
And by broken, I mean figuratively. Nothing's actually broken.
Your spirit is broken.
My spirit, my soul, my will to keep going, my joie de vivre.
Okay, well, before we dive into your loss of joie de vivre, on the Harmony Day chat for a second, I did want to share a little cute story about eggs that made me proud. And I want to share my guilt behind Harmony Day. So for starters, every time it rolls around, you know, you get sent this letter home from Kindy or Iggy's preschool where it's like, we want to invite parents to come in for Harmony Day and share their culture. And I balk at this every time. Number one, full-time working parent, don't have time for that, literally. But then I'm also like, I should be contributing.
Yeah, because you're Thai.
I'm Thai.
Not a lot of people are Thai around these parts.
Have a rich culture, so much to bring to the table, but yet nothing to bring to the table. The teachers were like, Jem, you should come in and do a Thai cooking class. I'm like, no. You don't know me.
Can I order chat Thai for the entire blue group?
Yeah, I'll just ring in Uber Eats to do the delivery and I'll pay for it and you guys enjoy it. No, but it's embarrassing. Like, I hate that I can't make Thai food. Everyone assumes you're Thai. You must be able to make good Thai food.
Yeah, it's a real shame.
It is, Revz.
Yeah.
And you know what? I take that to heart.
It's good.
And
Yai makes great Thai food.
yeah, well, we all
She's
love
as
Yai.
white as the pure driven snow.
She is the white on rice. She really is.
But she makes great Thai food.
She makes lap. She makes Thai
dedicated
chicken curry.
herself to learning how.
Yeah. Well, she did it in her 40s. I'm not 40. That's going to be my era of learning to cook. Anyway, back to my cute story. I dropped Iggy off at kindy the other day and the teacher said, Iggy, did you show your mummy what you did? Anyway, for Harmony Day, they have this class activity where they had a big globe set up on a table and then they had a whiteboard that had a big print of all the flags of the world.
Cool.
And one of the activities was to pick a flag of your choice and to make it out of craft. I don't know, collage it, whatever, all the colours. Anyway, the teacher said Iggy was the first to go to this activity and his flag is on the wall. Go and look at it. And he did Thailand. And not only that, he wrote the word Thailand.
Oh.
Hard to read, but he did so well.
Okay. We don't always need notes.
Okay, fine.
You know, like you really could have left out hard to read.
I didn't give him notes, but it was hard to read. It's okay. The fact that he is even putting pen to paper
100%
is huge. I'm proud
Massive.
of him.
Yeah,
it's huge.
I'm proud of
But
him.
anyway, the teacher said he was adamant that he wanted to do Thailand. He wanted to make you this flag. And I just thought,
baby boy.
do you remember I talked on the podcast about the guilt I feel about not giving my kids a second language when I grew up bilingual and really feeling the distance of my first home, my motherland, Thailand, and feeling like my kids aren't educated enough. Anyway, he's got pride. He's got Thailand pride.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It made me really happy.
Also, he is very Thai. A lot of things about him, like I feel like the culture is alive in him genetically.
Totally.
He looks Thai to me anyway, because he looks like you and your brother.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and your dad too.
It's just the colouring throws everyone.
Yeah, it's like yes.
It's the green eyes and the blonde hair.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you look beyond that, like if you look at him in black and white,
he's Thai.
he's Thai.
Yeah, yeah.
He's my Thai guy.
Teddy is, I mean, both my kids are very proud of their Scottish heritage, but Teddy is so into it. He gets very proud. And
Does he wear a quilt? A quilt.
Yeah, he wears a quilt.
He wears a quilt.
Well, you laugh, but one time he did wear a blanket because we didn't have a kilt.
So does he have a kilt?
Yeah, he's got the full get up.
Does he go free ball?
No, he's 7.
Okay, sorry, I don't know. You said he's really into the tradition.
Traditional, yes. I mean, he'd love to. He tries to free ball every day at
And
school.
you're like,
I'm like,
no,
where
babe.
are the undies?
Yeah.
Come on. You don't want to pop a testy on the monkey bars.
Just put that package away.
Put it away.
Yeah.
He's very into his Scottish heritage and will tell anyone, like, I'm Scottish.
Does he bring in haggis?
Well, again, like, his dad's not a big cook. And also, haggis is a specialty.
It really is.
It's not like everyone's cooking up haggis in their kitchen.
Isn't it stomach lining?
It's sheep's bladder.
Oh.
Traditionally, sheep bladder.
Fascinating.
Which is like a sausage casing.
Stuffed with what?
Meal, they call it, which is like, and sometimes it's oats and breadcrumb. It's like stuffing. It's basically stuffing in a bladder.
Okay.
Sounds gross.
Sounds
but
awful.
Don't even ask about blood pudding, which is another version.
I'll pass on that one.
Yeah. Actually, it's quite yummy. If you treat it as a stuffing, like as a side, like I've had it with, when we lived there, when we had it as a side with like roast chicken, delicious. But to make it a whole meal is a stretch.
It's too much.
Yeah, but it's very Depression era. It's not at all Depression era. It's like way older than that. But it feels like bread and butter pudding. It's like this came...
The scraps of everything.
This came out of a need. This is not like a culinary, delicacy. But it is. It's special. Anyway, yeah, Harmony Day. All right. Do you know what I don't have time for? Do you tow what I don't have time for? Do you know what I don't have time to?
What don't you have time for?
Guys, I had an accident. A stupid, avoidable, silly, fucked up, painful accident. And I need to talk about it.
DLs, just quickly, I have never seen Revz like this. Like, girlfriend is strong. Girlfriend holds her own. She's got a pretty high pain threshold. We know with all the beauty treatments that she's willing to endure. Weirdly, this has been your surprise undoing.
Oh, mate.
Like, I'm quite shocked.
Yeah.
Go on, tell the DLs. Fill
yeah.
us all in.
It's one of those things that's like, it feels like it shouldn't be as big a deal as it is. But as Jem pointed out off mic, you know how when you get a paper cut, it hurts disproportionately to what it should. Like, you're like, why is this so sore? And, you know, it takes for a few days, it's hanging around annoying you and getting in the way of life. So we've now learnt how many nerve endings are in our fingers and toes.
Our extremities, yeah.
But let's go back to the very beginning. A very good place to start.
Oh, go on, Revz.
So it's Sunday afternoon, late Sunday afternoon. It's in the 5s.
Okay.
Americano and his kids are at my house, and we've all been all together for the weekend. And Teddy's been at a birthday party. So Teddy and me and Isla had actually just watched a movie together because, context, Isla has been quite unwell. She's had a cold that just will not go away. It turned into an ear infection. It's been this whole thing. So she's been sick for a couple of weeks. So I've been trying to get her to rest. She's terrible. She's a really bad patient. But I was like, hey, I'm going to lie down with you and we're going to watch a movie while Teddy's at his party.
Perfect.
So we watched Suddenly 30 together.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, Jennifer Garner. Do you know the premise? It's like a body swap.
Is it with Lindsay?
No,
it's not
that's
Freaky Friday.
but
Sorry.
it's very similar vibes.
Who does she swap with?
Herself. She's 13 and she wishes she was 30.
Wait, she plays a 13-year-old?
No.
Oh,
That's someone
sorry.
else's.
Okay.
But she's 13. This is really getting off track. She's 13. She makes a wish. I wish I was 30. And from the magic of, you have to just watch it.
Yeah.
She wakes up 30, but she's 13 in her head, but she's 30 in her body and has this whole life. Anyway, it was fun. Loved it. Isla really loved it and she rested. But then she's a terrible patient and she can't sit still. And she was like, Mum, can you please come and shoot some hoops with me? And I was like, fuck, all right. I've tried to do horizontal parenting all day. I can shoot hoops for 5 minutes and then I'm going to tell her, come on, Teddy will be home any minute. We'll go chill and make dinner.
So you finally got vertical.
So we got up and we went out to shoot hoops. So my mum friend was dropping Teddy home because I'd dropped her son to the party and so she was going to be bringing Teddy home. So we're on the driveway, bounce, 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 shooting hoops. It was, by the way, I don't know if you remember 2 weekends ago, it was 40 degrees.
Yes. So hot.
And I was like, why are we doing this? She's like, come on, Mum. You never play basketball with me. You know, and I was like, fine. I was like, all right, come on.
Channeling your good mum energy.
Revz, be a active, participating parent. You know, you've only got them for one more night. So we're playing basketball. Now, picture this. Oh, I just want to say before I tell this story, I get very upset by gory things, whatever. So I'm going to tell this in a way where I'm not going to make you sick without warning, okay? So Isla is facing away from me. She's got the ball. I come up behind her to like basketball defend. I don't know. That's what they do. She's bouncing the ball. She goes to pivot. So this is what happens in basketball, apparently. People are defending behind you. You pivot like part around them so that you're kind of protecting the ball and they're behind you. Is this all making sense?
It is. It's like you do a 180 twist on your foot to kind of get them out of the way so that you can
kind of
pass
still keeping them behind you.
Yeah.
So Isla, with her full body weight,
puts her heel,
pivots on her heel on top of my big toe.
I shudder. We all know that feeling.
Yeah.
However.
So she's obviously landed, there's that, but then she pivots. So my big toenail twists halfway out and then gets pushed back in to the nail bed further than it was before, if that makes sense. So it's been fully, almost rotated 90 degrees.
Yeah, it dislodged itself.
Yeah, half of it.
Yeah.
Half of it dislodged, half of it stayed attached, but the side that was attached gets shoved back into it.
It punctured the nail bed back in.
And went through. So I go, ah! Let's go. I don't remember the noise I made, but I screamed. Oh. You know when you just know something bad has happened?
Yeah, it's like slamming your finger in a car door. It's that immediate impact.
No.
Yeah.
Something bad and the pain is not going. And I was like hobbling to the deck to sit down and I looked down at my toe thinking it was just, toes hurt. Toes hurt. So I'm like, oh. But I was like, no, I just got a pedi this morning.
Oh,
so I was like, no, not my fresh pedi, thinking it's going to be wrecked.
Because that's what matters in this moment.
I look down at my toe and Isla goes, oh! And I look, and when your brain can't
Computed,
compute
yeah.
what it's seeing. Like, it's just wrong. Like, this happened a few months ago when we were at the park with a mate and her daughter broke her arm in that S-bend way where you're looking at it and you're like, no, that's not right. But you don't quite have you're kind of in shock and you can't fully understand what it is. Anyway, I look and my toenail, the left side, so it's my right foot, the left side of the toenail is fully out, bringing and on a 90-degree angle, bringing with it part of my nail bed.
Oh, so your nail bed
is also dislodged.
Right.
It feels like it's like clicked off.
Like popped out the toe shell.
The toe area. And the right side.
It's giving prolapse.
Yeah,
it's like bulging out your nail bed.
It's giving injury.
Okay.
The right side of the toenail is too deep in.
Oh.
Like almost half disappearing back into my toe.
Yeah, like a mega ingrown.
Yeah. But like from the base, the bottom right base. And so it's instantly going white and purple around the edges. There wasn't any blood or anything, but and then the skin between like the left hand side of my toe and the toenail where it's come out was like, there was like this paper thin sort of piece of skin where I was like, what's that? I'm yelling Americano's name because he had just left. He'd checked on us and it was too fucking hot. So he went inside. Isla's yelling for him, running and yelling to get him. And I'm like, just trying to keep it together because my kid's there, right?
Yeah, and you don't want to make her feel worse than she already will.
I was just trying
inevitably
to stay
feel
calm. Yeah. But when I tell you the pain was so bad, and it was like, when it just goes seconds too long, like when you get hit or whatever, or waxed or Botox or laser or you knock your elbow, whatever,
it passes.
It's going to pass. You're
so on a scale of 1 to childbirth, where are we?
We are worse than childbirth.
Whoa!
I'm talking, this is worse than 7 centimeters dilated because it's not easing up. If anything, it's building.
Well, if you think about, when you stub your toe real bad, that you have that full body reaction where you're like, ah!
Yeah.
And then it subsides.
It didn't subside.
But it stayed at the peak.
It was that pain.
Oh, that throbbing.
And it was just sustaining itself and it was going nowhere. And I was like, what do I do? I was doing that mum thing of remain calm. But I was like, doing those low breaths, but tears were streaming out of my eyes. Like, it has been a long time since I have cried from pain. And I'm like, doing those animal kind of breathing groans. Americano runs out. He's like, what's going on? Isla's like, mum's toe. Isla's freaking. So I'm looking at her. I'm like, it's okay, baby. It's okay. It's going to be fine. It's just hurting for it'll stop in a second. I'm in a world of pain and I'm seriously thinking I'm going to throw up.
Of course.
Or I'm going to faint.
Oh.
And I'm a fainter. Honestly, I haven't fainted since childbirth, I don't think. I thought that had sort of cured me of it. But I was like, oh, I'm like got the pins and needles. Mm-hmm. And that vomity taste starts to come up your throat. And
or
I was like
when your mouth pools with saliva.
Yeah, it's like starting to get wet. And I'm like, I'm going to spew everywhere. Or I'm going to pass out. And I was like, and I wanted to put my head between my knees but I couldn't just because of how I had my foot and everything. Anyway, and then I hear this, hi.
Who's that?
I'm like, it's my mum friend dropping Teddy back from a party. Now, my beautiful mum friend has 4 kids.
Fuck.
And all my kids are friends with her kids. And she's brought them along because it's Sunday night and she's dropping Teddy back. They've just been at a party.
And you couldn't be more vulnerable.
And normally I'd be like, oh my God, do you want a glass of wine? And the kids would run around for half an hour and then we'd, go, come on guys, it's a school night, and we'd wrap it up. But all of her kids, not all, 3 of her kids bound out of the car with my kid. And they're like, hi, bye, Buster. And it's like, there's now
a cacophony of chaos.
4 kids outside, 2 inside, and 3 adults. And I'm like about to spew faint and I'm crying and I don't know what's happening to my toe. And And Americano's like, hey, we've just had an incident. She's like, oh, what's happened? You know, it's one of those things where I'm like,
she's come in fresh.
She has no information.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I couldn't speak. So I just like held my foot out to show her. And she was like, oh. And then all 4 kids go, oh. And then one of her kids starts to be like, oh God, oh. And like, you know, like.
You don't need a liability in this situation. Leave.
No, she was amazing. She's like, okay, we're going to go. And the kid's like, I want to say Basta. And they're like running. And she's like, get out of the house. And then the dog starts barking.
Oh, God.
And that full like that one. And I'm like, I am in hell. And I'm like, I need every single person to evaporate. She goes, can I take your kids? Why don't I take your kids? And Americano is like, yeah, is that a good idea? And I was like, no. Because I'm thinking, this is not, no.
Why?
Because I don't know. I just wanted it all to just calm down. I just really was like, no, it's all going to calm down. I just need to put a Band-Aid on and it's going to be fine.
Sure, Revz.
But this pain was like building. And now I've got a pulse in my toe. And I was like, this is really fucking bad. But I just didn't want her to, I don't know. It's 5-something on a Sunday night.
Worst.
It doesn't matter how fucked up you feel. As a mum, you're still like, no, it's Sunday night. I cannot possibly put my kids on you right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And as you had already mentioned, she has 4 kids of her own.
Of her own.
And what are you going to do?
At
Add
3
2 more?
different schools. She doesn't need 2 kids to give dinner and who knows how long that, you know, whatever.
But can I ask, in hindsight.
She should have taken them. And the dog. And the dog.
No.
She has a dog. She should have taken them all. Anyway, lesson 1. Let your friend help you. So she, reading the room, rounds up her kids, gets out of there. And I'm like, mental note, text her later and apologize for the state I was in. Anyway, so then Isla's starting to freak. She's like, mummy, you seem really sore. I get lifted inside and put on my bed. And I'm like, cannot stop crying.
Oh.
And now I'm not only crying, I'm like whimpering like a wounded animal. Like I was doing like the, like that kind of was like everything's tense. I remember my fists like this, my legs were tense.
Because the pain was unbearable.
Unbearable and going nowhere. Like not getting better, like just really bad. The kids were sitting there like eyes wide, staring at me.
Because they'll never have seen you in this state before.
Never. They never have.
Yeah.
So they were like a little bit in shock and scared.
Yes.
And, you know, sweet. Mummy, do you want some ice? And then Americano's like, yeah, get some ice, whatever. And they were like getting ice. The dog's fucking everywhere, sniffing around, jumping up, looking at things. And everyone's like, get out, Buster! And he's like, which makes him just needy. It was just like, I was like, I hate all of this. I hate all of this. Anyway, Americano calls like the health hotline to ask what to do. I love him so much. I'm just going to tell this story in the honest way from my POV today. But if you're listening, honey, I love you and you were really there for me and you were amazing. But men and women are just from Mars and Venus, okay?
We're built different.
I'm hearing him on the phone. He's describing it all wrong. I'm like, they're not going to be able to help because you're saying it wrong. He's like, oh, hey, my partner's really hurt her toe. Yeah, she's, it looks like it's loosened, but she's in quite a lot of pain. Oh, yes, she got stepped on. No,
I did not.
It didn't get stepped on. No. Yeah, she's just in quite a lot of pain. Can we get someone out here? No, do you want an ambulance? I'm like, no, I don't want an ambulance. I was like,
use those resources.
I was like, I do not want an ambulance. No. And I felt like
for a toe.
Exactly. And it sounded, coming out of his mouth on the phone, it sounded so ridiculous. Yeah. And I was like,
she got stepped on
and she's in a lot of pain.
Send an ambulance.
And I was just like, this is so fucked. And I was like, call my dad. My dad lives around the corner, right? And I thought, get your dad here. Get dad here. Big mistake.
Do we need to preface this with a love letter to your dad?
I love you, Dad.
Love you, Dad.
I love you so much.
But men are from Mars.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. You know? But I was just like, my mum had overseas visitors. My sister is a single mum with her own fucking bullshit. You know, do I need to say again, it was now nearly 6 o'clock on a Sunday night and I just didn't want to bother the women, okay? But you know what I should have fucking done?
Bothered the women.
Assembled the women.
Mobilized us.
Mobilized the witches.
I was furious at Revz. I was like, why didn't you call me?
Because I didn't know if Hugs was fly in, fly out. I didn't know what your situation was. If you could come, if you couldn't.
This is an extreme sitch.
Extreme sitch.
Drop it all and come.
Call the witch.
Meanwhile, I was at the beach because, as you mentioned,
I saw on your Instagram.
40-degree day, having a casual dinner down by the water. Would have come in a heartbeat.
Must be nice. I know you would have. So we've got Americano's 2 kids, my 2 kids. We've got 4 kids and a dog in the house, and they haven't had dinner. And as I said, it's Sunday night, school tomorrow. Now, Americano and his kids were literally about to leave when this happened to go back to their side of Sydney to prepare for the week ahead. And they have exams and all sorts of things happening this week and sport and training and like they're about to go home, right?
Yeah, and do the reset, the Sunday reset.
Now, none of that's been done and times are ticking and I'm like, my brain was prioritizing all that stuff.
So fucked.
And I'm like, okay, all right, let's get my dad here. Start with that. Get someone over here immediately so that someone's on the kids and someone's on me because I'm useless, right? I'm holed up on the bed in a fucking state, whimpering and wailing. Everything tense. My dad's on his way. And then I'm like, okay, let's get my kid's dad to come and get them. No, he's 3 hours away.
Helpful. So helpful.
It's not his fault. He didn't know. He's not supposed to have kids that weekend. He was away with his partner. They're away.
But what are the chances?
What are the chances?
Did we mention that it was a blood moon that weekend?
I'll get to this fucking moon.
Yeah, it's cunt of a moon.
So he's 3 hours out of Sydney. So that's no good. So I'm like, okay. So then my dad gets there, very pissed off at the dog.
Your dad and Buster have a similar relationship to me and Buster.
Times 100.
Okay.
The dog.
That makes me feel better, by the way.
The dog, it's like the dog smells that dad doesn't want a bar of him and is like, oh no, I'm gonna turn you around. Like, let me show you how easy I am to love. Jumping up, like saying hi, licking him. My dad's just so overstimulated by the whole situation. 4 kids.
And also his Sunday evening has been disrupted.
Interrupted.
His kid-free, boomer, semi-retired Sunday evening
fucked up
has been interrupted. How dare you, Revz?
Yeah, and I'm the firstborn daughter. I'm not in this situation very often. And he was a bit like, oh no.
What do don't you fall apart?
What do I do? And he's like, well, I'll just take everyone back to my place.
And you're like,
now here's where I'm punished. I was like, no, it's Sunday night.
I'm gonna call you out. You are a punish.
I'm a punish, but like no one was thinking like a woman. No one. The only other female in the house was Isla, and she was very upset.
And she's 10.
And she's 10. Not her job.
No, not her job.
All these men were like, what do we do? And I was like, all the children need dinner. 2 of them need to go home. Mine need to be here and they need to be in bed in 2 or 3 hours time. The dog needs dinner and to stop barking.
Fucking hell.
Could anyone do any of that? No.
No one can make it happen for you.
So basically I was like, thanks, Dad. Why don't you go home? Send him home.
Thanks, but no thanks, Daddy Revz.
I get it. He wanted to like take them where his wife could help feed them all and whatever, and they could be happily. He couldn't. He's got his own shit going on. His house is for sale.
Oh, the men's.
He couldn't take the dog.
Well, he could have,
but
he did not want to.
Yes, I get it.
And to be fair, I would not.
No, I get it.
I would be helpful. I would die for your children.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take Buster to my house.
I know. I'm like, can you not just make some dinner? Put on a TV show. Anyway.
Something.
Anyway.
So he became a menace.
We sent him home.
Yep.
At this point, I am in a great deal of pain. And Americano makes the call, you are going to hospital.
Good. Oh, great. Thank you, Americano.
And we decide that for the least disruption, the kids will stay home. The eldest is old enough that the kids can stay home. Americano orders dinner on Uber Eats. That's on its way. He's like, guys, I'll call your dad from the car and let him know what's going on. I'm taking your mum to the hospital. Isla makes me a card somewhere in this and runs out of the house following me to the car and I hold her face and say, do not let the dog escape. A little more context for this weekend. Twice, Buster had found a way out of the side of the house. Twice. And we had jerry-rigged baby gates, boxes, and chicken wire to try and secure this side of the house that he'd never gone out before, but he'd done it twice. And we'd found him out the front of the house near the very busy road a couple of times. So I was like, Isla, your one job over the next couple of hours is to not let Buster out of your sight. She's like, aye, Mum, I'm on it.
Segue for a sec. Have I told you that I have a new nickname for Buster?
What?
Buster Money Pit.
Yes. Yes.
He's your
Buster Malone.
beautiful money pit, that freaking dog, honestly.
There's so much more to say on that. He's cost me hundreds of dollars this week. Anyway, we'll get back to that.
I reckon we're tallying way over a couple of thousand now with your Bissell purchase, your new rugs that
Steam
you've had to
cleaning.
replace, all
shoes.
of it.
2 pairs of friends' shoes got eaten that I had to replace. Is this not the most mum thing ever when you are in excruciating pain, but you're like, the dog, the chip, 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, co-parent, school tomorrow, school bags, lunchbox it, you know what I mean? Dinner. Like none of that went away.
No.
Because there was no other woman there. So
course.
who else was going to think about it?
You, babe.
So
Meanwhile, your toe is at the bottom of the to-do list.
the bottom, but I'm like,
But the pain is overriding.
needs to be
Yeah.
seen too. Thank God Americano was singularly focused. And this is where it's important, right? And he drove me to emergency. We were there. It wasn't too busy, which blew my mind. We were 6th in line. What? Which never happens. I was like, a Sunday night, surely there's been sport. There's been, all sorts of end of the weekend.
Or everyone's doing their Sunday reset by
Yeah.
that time. They're at home.
Yeah, but they might have, all sorts of things could happen at home. Exhibit A. In the waiting room, I'm number 6. So there are 5 other people. 2 of them are mothers with kids. So there are 3 others that are all men, right? Who are the 2 people who, so I'm in a state, weeping, crying, limping, getting carried in, trying to keep it together. 2 of the people in the waiting room turn to me and say, are you okay? Are you all right?
The mums.
The mums.
Obvi.
The 2 mums who have iPads, children,
Hanging
bags,
off them. Yeah.
and they're there by themselves. So then I get called up to triage, and the triage nurse goes, ooh! And I was like, oh, fuck. If the triage nurse is not able to handle this is bad. And I'm starting to feel a little validated because I'm like, yeah, right? Because I'm like, it's just a fucking toe.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a nail.
I think it's worse if you have an injury that's painful and people are like, you'll be right.
You'll be right. Don't worry about it.
it's
Just
no
it'll
biggie.
come off in its own time.
Yeah.
That's what my dad said to me.
Yeah.
It'll come off. Just,
No, what you want actually is someone to go, oh, how are you alive and conscious and not vomiting?
She goes, what have you had for the pain? I was like, nothing. She's like, I'm going to just give you some Nurofen and Panadol right now. So she gave me that and she goes, all right, come with me. We're going to get you fast tracked. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay.
Boom.
I was like, must be bad. So she takes me through fast track. Americano fills out all the forms or whatever. I get put in these seats in this corridor. Hilarious. There was a young, hot couple sitting next to me laughing with their nurse. And I saw from by what she gave them and the chats they were having, I leaned over to Americano and I was like, she's got something in her butt.
What?
Do you not do this in emergency where you look around and you're like, who here has something in their butt?
Well, there often is.
Right? Anyway, it was this really hot couple. They were obviously messing around on their self-care Sunday. And
How have you
it was
distilled
obvious.
that?
From what they were talking about, I won't repeat it, but
Okay.
from what they were
Oh,
discussing
please repeat it.
and what she was given to go home with. Anyway, that was fun. That was
love
good. That
those
lightened my
stories.
mood.
Good.
But then I was like, oh, I'm going to vomit. Like the vomit surge started coming. So they gave me a sick bag and I was like, all that bile. Oh. And I was like, and then they fast called the doctor.
Amazing.
The doctor's like, come on in. They put me on a bed. He's like, ooh, okay. And he goes, oh, you've got those extensions on as well. And I was like,
Hair extensions?
I was like thinking, how does he know? Is it that obvious that a fucking male doctor in his 50s can tell I've got stennies? And I went, oh yeah. And Americano goes, you don't have extensions on your toes. And I was like,
Oh, your nails.
I said, no, they're my nails. He goes, oh, they just look very nice. I was like, I had them done this morning. He's like, right, well.
And you are known for your nails.
Thank you.
They're beautiful, strong.
You know, genetically, Gem,
You're blessed there.
I wasn't blessed with much, but what I was blessed with was incredibly strong nails, deep nail beds,
Strong teeth.
strong teeth and
bones. Yeah, that's your
My
thing.
calcium is good,
Yeah,
you know.
good.
However, it fucked me in this
Yeah.
situation. Too strong. Weaker nails would have come off.
No, but not yours.
Not mine.
You're fucking
Hanging
hanging
in
in there.
fucking me up.
And burying itself back into the bed.
So much so the ER doctor thought they were fake. Extensions. Side note, when he left the room, Americana was like, do people actually get toenail extensions? I was like, they're called acrylics.
It crossed my mind as well. If I'm honest, like when I think acrylics, I think nails on your fingers. Yeah. But yeah, right.
Of course you can. I mean,
sure.
Would you?
Odd way to spend money, but hey, each to their own.
Anyway.
Horses for courses.
The doctor goes, now the bad news is there's no saving this very pretty nail.
No shit, Sherlock.
I was like, you think?
That ship sailed back at the B-ball court.
He's like, now how's the pain? It looks bad. I was like, it's an 11, doctor. He's like, right. He's like, I'll be right back. I'm just going to get some anesthetic. And I was like, fuck yes. Forgetting how bad anesthetic is to go in. So
I confess I couldn't tell you.
Have you ever had needle anesthetic?
I must have at some point in my life.
A mole removed or stitches or anything like that? No.
I must have, but I can't think of an occasion.
I feel like you'd remember.
Yeah, probably.
I've had this with skin cancer removal where like the fucking anesthetic hurts more than I guess that's the
procedure.
Point, but the actual needle going, it's very painful because it's thick.
Okay, and they put the needle
into a nerve. Or near a nerve. What they're trying to do is
near the wound.
Yeah,
which feels so counterintuitive.
Well, he actually did it at the base of my toe, so nowhere near my nail bed. But he was like, "Sorry, there are so many nerves.
This is going to take a few goes.
There are so many nerves here. I need to get them all, or you're not going to have numbness. And if this is too painful to raw dog, like you need to be numb." So he did it, and I was like. I was like it could get worse. Now this needle into my nerves at the base of my toe. So like kind of like if you can imagine where your index toe and your big toe meet, like that webbing there, like to the left, just to the left of that. That's where he's injecting.
Yeah.
3 needles on one side. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, I'm just going to do the other side. And I was like, ah. So he did that. And he's like, I'm just going to give that a minute to kick in. Anyway, the left side of my toe went numb straight away, but the right side, I could feel everything still. And I was like, and he came back about 5 minutes later. He's like, how's that going? I was like, I can still feel it. He's like, all right, let's put some more in, give you a little top up.
Fuck's sake.
Whole thing all over again. He was like testing. He's like, can you feel that? I'm like, yes! Because every time he's like, can you feel that? It's painful.
Of course.
Goes out 5 minutes, comes back. Nope, can still feel it. So I had 3 top ups before it numbed. Ooh. And then he was like, all right, cool, now we're numb. And he like put on his like all his surgical stuff. He got basically scrubbed in. They prepped the area. He had that like visor thing with the magnetic, you know, and like lights came in. There was
magnetic or magnifying?
Magnifying.
Yeah.
You know that thing?
Yeah.
Nothing. Had all these tools, and I was like, it was all moving very fast, and I was like, I'm very queasy. And I can't see any of this. But I was sitting upright on the bed, like with my foot, like my knee bent and my foot flat. So I was like, right there.
Yeah,
and I was like, I need to not see this.
So did they recline you?
No, it was all going fast. So Americana was great. He like held my hand and sort of shielded. He made himself a shield. But he loves this shit. He's like you. He like literally YouTubes like ACL surgery and stuff when he wakes up in the middle of the night. Weirdo.
Yeah.
So he loves toe stuff particularly. So this was his happy place. So he was like, yeah. He wasn't really. He was like,
not a fetish, Revz.
He was actually really good. He
was
fascinating. He was finding it fascinating and loving it. But he was like, you're doing really well. It's almost over. That's it. Squeeze my hand. And I was like, oh, this is what it would be like if we had a baby. And then I felt this big yank. And then he was like, all done. And he's like,
Thank God.
No. The doctor goes, oh, no, not done. So we now need to create a false nail to protect you because this is a very vulnerable, very raw part of your body. He's like, fun fact, we really need our toenails. And I was like, oh.
So is this where he busts out the acrylic nail?
No. He was like, I could put your nail back in place as a shit. And I was like, no, like that just, everything about that sounded.
Just disgusts you.
Just sounded wrong. And I was like, and then what do I do? Like it felt like too much after. Anyway, I probably should have taken that now with power of hindsight after today, what's happened today, but we'll get to that. Anyway, I was like, no, get rid of it. And he's like, okay, I can put a dressing on. And I was like, great. And then I'm starting to like calm down now, like detense, because I've been doing that for like a couple of hours now.
And you've had anesthetic.
I had anesthetic.
That's the good shit.
Yeah. And I'm starting to like calm down because I can't feel anything. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. Like Everything's regulating in my body, and I'm like, whew, I make some stupid joke.
You're not running from a bear anymore.
Not running from a bear anymore. He's like talking me through what he's doing. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't look because I'll be sick. He's like, okay, but you are going to need to know this tomorrow. Now, I remember him saying that, and I remember nothing else that he said. I was kind of just hoping.
Where was Americano at this point?
Well, he was listening.
Okay, good.
And the doctor's like, now I'm going to have to talk you through this because you're going to need to do this yourself at home. And there was like so many steps. There was this gauze stuff, then more gauze, then this dressing, then this stuff, and then a bandage, and not too tight, but tight enough, but protect it, but not to let the blood flow, lots. You can get special things that are for a digit. I was like, can you just give us all the stuff? Anyway, he could give us one round of the stuff. I was like, that's fine. Americano will remember this. We
we all know where this is going.
We hobble out of the hospital into the car. And for half an hour, I was fine because I was like, we've dealt with it. The nail's gone. And I couldn't feel anything. Half an hour later, all the anesthetic starts to wear off. And I'm like, fuck me. It's got a pulse and it hurts so much. And I've also got this like very stressful hypervigilance about anything near it. Like my whole body is in anticipatory defense mode because I'm like
if anyone fucking touches this
if the dog
wound.
walks near me, if a breeze comes past, like it's gonna kill. Because even the bandage on the wound is hurting, right?
Would be very tender.
And I keep visualizing it, and I'm like, no, don't think about it, because when I visualize it, then it hurts more. I'm like, no, it's all sorted for now. You don't have to worry about it for 24 hours. And then I like try and go to sleep. I can't get comfortable in bed because there's
like being pregnant.
There's no position where that my foot needs to be elevated. It needs to kind of be up, but then I can't. I'm not a back sleeper.
No, it's
I'm
the
a side
worst.
sleeper, so I'm like, oh my God. Then like all my thighs are twisted. Anyway, it was a nightmare. Didn't sleep well. So it's just me and the dog and my fucking gammy foot. And I'm like, okay, Buster, I'm looking you in the eye and I'm telling you, you need to behave tonight. No eating a whole chicken carcass. No escaping out the side of the house. No jumping up onto the bed onto my foot. This is the thing. He jumps up onto the bed. And I was like, if he jumps up and collects my foot, I am fucked. And I don't have anyone here. My kids have been picked up by their dad. They've gone to his house. They've taken all their school stuff. Americano and his kids have left. It's just me.
This would cure anyone of getting a dog.
I was thought you were going to say divorce. It would also cure you of that. Like sometimes it's just worth sticking it out. Stick it out for situations purely like this.
Just to have a man with singular focus.
With one set of kids from one family that actually live in the house that one parent can feed and take care of and doesn't need to ask a million questions. We get through the night, nothing terrible happens. I wake up in the morning, realize I really can't walk. Like I'm hobbling. Like I cannot put no pressure on the left side of my foot. So like getting to the bathroom, and like the dog like all around me is very stressful. Yes. So Americano clears his day and he drops his kids at school and then he's on his way back to me. Legend. Lots of questions. Now, have you eaten? No. What would you like? I don't know. What can I pick up? Can I pick anything up on the way? What did we need from the hospital? Like, don't we need bandages? Maybe. Did you need more gauze? I'm like, I don't know. What would you like to eat? Is there any yogurt in the fridge? I'm like, I don't know.
Just handle it.
I need you to handle it.
Yes.
But I'm like, the bitch is rising. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, when you feel that like absolute, like, I can't handle this.
Yeah. I need you to read my mind.
I need you to come and read my mind, put me to bed and deal with absolutely everything in my life.
Tend to me.
Motherfucker. He came over. I actually had a ton of work that had to be done that was already late on a deadline. I smashed it all out. It got to 5 p.m. and I'm like, oh, maybe I'd have to change the dressing. I think I had to change the dressing. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. We're good.
Tomorrow us can deal with that.
We'll change it tomorrow morning. What's difference is a night going to make?
Cut to today.
So I unwrap everything thinking like, I'll just quickly change my dressing and then I'll get ready for work. I'm in my pajamas, I have grand plans of putting my lunch together and everything. So I unwrap it and the last 2 layers of gauze will not budge.
Oh.
They've
fused. Is it fused?
Fused, grafted. It feels like they've grafted to my what looks very weepy now bed. And I very delicately try and remove. No, it's like everything goes like, no.
Babe.
No. And I'm like, fuck. Okay, so we chat GPT. Is this bad? What's the situation? They're like, yes, it's quite common for this to happen if the dressing has been left on too long. And then it's like, soak it, get it off, treat the wound, start again.
So yesterday you should have dealt with this.
Definitely.
Oh, dear.
So then I'm like, okay, let's soak it. So Americano gets me this little foot basin and I soak it. And I'm like, yep. I won't tell the blow by blow, but basically I soak it for over an hour and I cannot get it off. About at the half hour mark, there's a knock at the door.
For fuck's sake.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So the dog starts going, "Whoa!" And I'm like, there was a knock at the door. He goes, I didn't hear that. I think that was just me. I'm like, there was a knock at the door. Americano goes to the door. By the way, while my foot's been in the basin, would you like some breakfast? No, I feel sick. Do you want a coffee? No. Would you like some? It brings me multiple drinks. I'm like, this is lovely, but I'm about to be sick. Like, this is making me feel sick. I don't want beverages. I want you to figure out.
I have to interject for a second, right? Because there is also a version of this where you're like, he doesn't offer me breakfast. I know. He doesn't offer me a coffee. Read my mind. These are all the things that I need. Then he does that. He's offering too many things. Read the room. I told you I feel sick. Offer me nothing. Like, they're damned if they do and damned if they don't.
No, they're not.
Yes.
I know what you would have done if you were there. You
What?
just would have handled it.
I would have.
You would have gone, oh, there's a door. And you wouldn't have gone, there's a knock at the door. You would have just gone to the door.
100p.
You would have shut up, Buster, and gone to the door.
I would.
No, they had to be like, I don't think there was a knock. There's a knock at the door.
It's like, why are we having this conversation?
The dog's going. The dog's going. And he's like, Buster, can you stop? I'm like, he doesn't speak English. You need to stop him barking.
You need to go, Buster!
Yeah. Shh. Anyway, he goes and answers the door. It's 3 blokes from Sydney Water. They need to come in because the neighbours have had a blockage and they need to check over my fence if there's roots in a pipe.
Blood moon, you cunt.
Now, if you were there, you would have been like, it's not a good time. We actually have a wound. Can you guys come back later? Not a good time. Nope, in they come. Through the house, the dog is barking at them as these 3 guys in high vis with helmets and all these tools march through my house. I'm in my pajamas, braless, with my foot in a basin with way too many beverages. And the dog is barking. I'm in extreme pain.
The bear's back is chasing you.
There's so many bears, Tim. Everyone's a bear. All the men are bears. I'm late for work.
Oh yeah. For context, DLs, me and Katie get a text from Americano, and we're like, and it's like, hey guys, there's no accent, but hey guys, I'm just tending to Kate's wound. It's taking a little longer than planned. She's gonna be late.
Yeah,
and we're like, oh, okay.
Anyway, so the fucking guys at Sydney Water out the back, the dog will not stop barking. They're in full outfits, and he doesn't like that.
Okay, can I ask? Is this like sleep training versus not sleep training? But you know those collar things that spray a thing when they bark a thing?
It is like sleep training, yeah. Some people are like, that's cruel.
Cruel,
yeah.
okay. And then some people are like, it's changed my life. Yeah. So I'm assuming Buster has never had this and you're anti-it?
I can always get him to stop barking. So it's not like a problem in our lives.
Until
I'm hauled up and can't do shit.
Okay.
But I'm so dysregulated and overstimulated, in pain and stressed. And now there's just so many environmental factors grinding my gears.
I can't believe this was your morning. This is heckers.
Anyway, I'm like, I FaceTime Lisa, crazy Lisa.
Yeah.
Now, for context, it's a good friend of mine who is a former nurse, and she's just really good with this shit. I FaceTime her, and she's like, oh, honey. She says straight away. She takes one look at my face. She's like, oh, honey, what's going on? I put her up. She's like, okay, talk me through it. Yep, hover it over the wound. Oh, okay. All right, I see what's happening there. Now, do you have somewhere you need to be? I was like, yes. She's like, okay, this is not going to happen now. This is going to take a few hours. So what we're going to do is, what have you got with you there? Talk me through what you've got. I'm like, I've got this. I'm showing her on the camera.
Bandages.
I've got this bandage. I've got this gauze. She's like, yep, that one. Put that down. Do you have clean scissors? I was like, yes. She's like, now what we're going to do is, do you have any Bactroban or Betadine or anything? I'm like, yep. So I give Americano the 7 instructions he needs to locate the Bactroban.
Turn left at the counter.
I'm like, if you go into the boys' bathroom in the second drawer, if you open that, underneath the melatonin, you will find a medicine under the melatonin. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Try moving it. There you go. Okay. I in that, pull out the medicine chest. Yep. Bactroban. It might be the generic. I don't know what they call the generic, but it's a white tube with red letters. Like,
Americano, we love you.
I love you, honey. You're just a man. It's not your fault. Anyway, he brings it in and hold up to Lisa. I've got this. She's like, oh, great. Okay, put a blood. And she talks me through it and I do it. She's like, now I'm going to text Americano a list of the things we're going to need tonight. And when you get home tonight, it's going to take a while, but you need to be sitting down watching TV because you need to soak for a long time. We'll do this together, but now is not the time.
Look at her handling it.
Look at her fucking handling it. This is my friend who's just come off a year of cancer treatment.
Oh my gosh.
Looking after me.
We all need a nurse bestie.
But pour one out for the dads who can't get it right. Damned if they do, damned if just be Lisa. Just be Lisa. Get it wrapped up.
I love how you flip-flop between it's not your fault, honey. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Just handle it.
Take care of me.
Read my fucking mind.
Just take care of me. Take care of me. Don't ask me a single thing.
No, but okay.
No, we don't need anyone to sympathize right now. Everyone gets it.
I'm feeling empathetic. Okay, it's like when Hub says to me, "What do you mean you don't know which way is north?" You know?
No, it's not.
No, it is the same. It's not in my instincts. Like,
Okay.
we know women are natural born nurturers. You just said it's not his fault.
Anyway.
Revz is like, I'm not getting in defense of men here.
Not right now.
Not the men's.
I hate them too much today. Got dressed up. We got in the car. We got everything to it. Like, put the dog in daycare. He got me here. Thank you, honey, for getting me to work. And then you guys now look after me. So we're good. But oh my God.
What a day.
This is fucked.
Yeah, I've never seen you so distraught. Like, when you arrived at the office, you looked so downtrodden.
Yeah.
And so fucking done with life.
Yeah.
On top of this, DLs, I don't know if you know, but Revz is also still recovering from scarlet fever. Yeah, I said that. Let's just throw that into the mix of things. She did a swab because she cannot recover from this fucking sickness. And she finally gets a swab. It's scarlet fever.
Who gets scarlet fever?
I mean, it's bubonic plague adjacent, isn't it? It's from that time, I'm pretty sure.
It's very Victorian.
Were you not
ghost.
immunised? I'm confused.
No, it's just
Like,
who
I gets scarlet fever?
For the doctors out there, the nurses, I'd had strep throat and it went too far because my immunity's bullshit. I've ordered supplements. I'm looking at my gut health. It's probably my thyroid. Don't worry about it.
This is 40.
This is 40. But you know what? This afternoon is what I'm worried about. I can't drive, you guys. So I've got to get from work to fucking parent-teacher interviews.
Oh, skip
At
that.
5, no, I can't.
Why?
Because my kids need me to be on. It's term 1, and there's
Get the footnotes.
some stuff going off at school, and I need to get across. I can't miss it. You can't get it. You'll never get them again. You know what it's like with these appointments.
No, but like, genuine question. How are you getting there? Am I taking you?
You might have to.
That's fine. Happy to. I'll
I'm
take you
gonna
there.
have to go up the stairs to their classroom.
Oh, for fuck's sake,
And then I have to
Revz.
get the dog before 6, but my appointment's at 5:45.
Oh,
Live.
cutting it fine.
And tonight I don't have anyone with me.
Question,
Anyway, I'm just going to
can
make Americano come
Buster
back.
have a sleepover at Dog Social? Is that a thing they offer?
You know, maybe I'll ask.
Is it a kennel at
I
night?
might ask. I
Is
should
it a
ask.
Doggy hotel
He's
by
got to
night?
go.
He's gotta go.
Gotta go. The way of Bobo. He's gotta go. This dog. This fucking dog. If I'd known.
Oh, Revz. No.
He's the worst part of this whole
Do you
thing.
know how hard it's been to not for
I told you
how,
so.
How old is Buster?
8 months almost.
Do you know how hard it's been for 8 months to bite my tongue and not say I told you so?
And I love you for that.
I've
and
tried-
that's the right thing to do.
It is the right thing to do, but it has not been easy. Pour one out for Jem. Now, I know I've been quite empathetic, but there is a recurring theme here where the men's are not handling the basic business. It's when we get sick, right? It's that. I mean, my husband is the same. He has a fucking lobotomy when I'm unwell, and he never looks at me with a sliver of, oh, you're sick. It's always, oh no.
Oh, no, what am I going to do?
Oh no, the inconvenience. You can't go down. You're the glue that sticks our family together. Like, literally, he doesn't know what to do. Anyway, I was caught up with a girlfriend, and she was telling me how, because she is at the tail end of sickness. I'm like, what's going on with everyone around me, dropping like flies? And I was like, how are you doing? She's like, I'm better now. But holy shit, my husband has been king of uselessness, tits on a bull. fucking useless. So she's been so unwell for like a week, and then it gets to the weekend and she says to him, honey, I am so unwell. I need you to handle the kids, and I actually need you to just look after me. I need TLC. I need to be fed. I need to be watered. I cannot think. I cannot
have to go to bed.
I just can't make decisions for myself. You know, the fact that she even has to preface that. But I hard relate because I too have to do that with my husband. Like I have to emotionally prepare him for the fact that I need to be emotionally looked after.
Yes.
So then,
Just getting ahead of the problem, you know? Just getting ahead.
just 10 steps ahead.
Just 40 years of data letting you know, you know what, something might come up today.
Cooked. It's cooked.
And I'm going to get ahead of that by just being like, now before I'm a full dragon yelling at you, I'm just going to say, this is what I need.
Or before
Ask
I'm
for what
on
you need.
death's door. This is the other thing. We are looking after ourselves. Anyway, so she's in bed. Husband pops his head in. What are we having for lunch?
No.
She's like, I don't know. Sort it out. He's like, well, what do you want for lunch? She's like, I told you.
I don't care.
I'm really sick. I don't care. I just need sustenance. Like, think about it. What do I need? Get me that.
What would you bring your husband if he was sick in bed for lunch?
Some toast.
Okay.
Buttered toast.
Yep. Vegemite.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Plain.
A hydrating drink.
Yep. Yes.
Some Panadol.
Maybe Berocca, medication, all by the bed.
Yep. Just put it there.
Big bottle of water.
Yep. Make sure you got tissues, whatever.
Totally. Maybe a bucket.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
And then what are you doing with the kids?
Exactly.
What are you doing? Taking them out.
Absolutely.
Feeding
Keeping the
them
house
somewhere
quiet.
else.
Certainly
Get them out of
not
there.
letting them in the room. Then her husband dashes out, goes and gets lunch. Next minute, ding, ding, she gets a text of the menu with, what do you want for lunch? She absolutely fucking loses it. She's like, we've been married for 10 years. What the fuck do you think I would like for lunch? Do you not know me? Then he comes home and he's annoyed. Hey, I thought I
sent you a menu.
I was being considerate. I was trying to help you out. Like, I didn't want to get you the wrong thing. The wrong thing?
This is the wrong thing.
Cut to dinner time.
No.
The audacity.
No.
By this point, I'm like, you're putting your nail in your own coffin. Pokes his head in. What are we doing for dinner?
No.
She's like, fuck my life.
No.
Why?
Why?
Why? What? Like, I just don't understand. Where is the ability to learn from one's mistake? Revz, we're raising sons.
Yes,
okay?
and we're going to raise them to be fucking independent and to keep their mouths shut. Because this is the thing that they don't understand. It's not simply that you're being asked. Of course, if something like they really don't know it, and like fair to Americano, it's not his house. You know, for your friend's husband, I'm like, you're dead to me. It's your own house, your own kids, your own wife.
Yeah, sort it out.
Sort it out. I don't care what they have for dinner or what you bring her for lunch, but just like, don't ask, just do it.
Yeah.
And don't narrate it either, because that's another level of, then we need to respond with, oh, well done.
However.
No, we're not going there. We're not going there.
I want to, Revz. I have to counter it.
No, but when we're raising sons, we're going to teach them when someone is holed up, you just look after them. You don't ask them for their input or their preference or how they want it done. You just make offers. But not too many beverages.
I was about to say.
But I said 3 times, I feel queasy. I don't want a coffee.
Okay.
And
So
I had to say that like a bitch. I feel queasy. I don't want a coffee. I had to be that person.
There's no active listening.
He made me like that.
Okay, don't gaslight him. Calm down.
Not gaslighting.
You made me like that?
It's not gaslighting.
No, he did not make you like that. He is trying.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
But
Look, this whole thing has me very upside down about my man hater status because I've never hated them more and yet I've never needed one more. I need to be carried around. I need things done for me. I don't need 3 guys from Sydney Water went into my backyard and my dog barking.
And he's a boy too. It's so annoying. Like if Buster was a girl, we might forgive her.
Right.
Or she just wouldn't. She just
know.
wouldn't. She'd know.
She'd sit by my side and she'd learn the power of speech to say, you're doing great, sweetie.
Question. Why did you go with a male?
I had a male.
As a self-confessed
kid.
male hater in this current
Doesn't
moment
make any
in time.
sense, does it?
Yeah.
I had a male dog growing up, and I think that's...
You went, that'll do.
So I think I said there's a reason why we like that, isn't it? I can't remember.
Revz, bless you. Do you know the other day, just to segue for a second, Iggy couldn't find his bunny. He's like, where's my bunny? And I'm like, it's by your bed. And he's like, okay. He toddles upstairs. He comes down. It's not by my bed. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I stripped the bedding. It's under your doona somewhere that's bundled up on the floor. He goes up. He comes back down. Where's my bunny? And then I said, for fuck's sake. You know, I walked him upstairs, took him to bed, lifted the doona. There it is.
There it is.
And then he goes, oh, sorry, Mum. I did a boy look.
Good.
Don't
do that.
And Rafi uses that term.
It's good.
I'm not even against it.
No, this is fine. Some shame is good shame.
I agree.
There is such thing as good shame.
A healthy amount of shame.
Lift.
We need shame so that you lift.
We all know a few men, and yes, they're unicorns, but they do exist. It is possible. Often, sons of single mums get very independent.
Ooh.
Very, very good at help. I mean, look, we don't want to parentify them. It can go too far the other way. But, you know, they learn that like, okay, mum needs help, you know, and we got to do our part. We got to like lift and make it easier. Just make it easier. It might sound stupid to them if you were trying to explain it. Like, what? I was just asking what you want for lunch. But you're like, yeah, but you've asked me 85 things and I can't go and do it for myself. So it's just more mental load. It's like, I just need to, like a child, be provided for.
Needs met.
Needs met.
Yeah.
Meet
That's
the needs.
all I'm asking.
Don't narrate it either.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to participate. It's not a back and forth
Back
situation.
on the single mum thing, I've actually got a girlfriend who is recently divorced. She's got 3 boys. And I saw on her Instagram, she posted her youngest, who is 7, folding and putting away his own laundry.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was like, yes, this is what we need. Independence. And also, I think there's merit with boys who go to boarding school. They have to become self-sufficient. They kind of do it by themselves. Look, I'm not going to put shame on anyone who wants to send their kids to boarding school, but my brother went to boarding school and he is very independent and self-sufficient.
And a very good husband.
He is.
I think he's one of the unicorns, right?
Yeah, he's
like I feel like in this situation, if it was Marley, your sister-in-law, in my situation, he'd handle it.
Yeah.
You know?
I would like to think so. Can you imagine if Marley's listening to this
like,
going,
bullshit.
They're all the same.
They're out there. It's possible. Lift. Sorry, I know we sometimes say, oh, our standards are impossibly high. They're doing their best. Sometimes I'm just like, lift.
Yeah, the bar is quite low.
Yeah, the bar is so low.
We're very generous in forgiveness.
And like, this is an extreme sitch, as you said. Like,
Revz, I have to zoom out. It's the hilarity of the intensity of the story, the comedy of errors that have come. And then I look at you and it's like, it's a toe injury. It's a toe injury. Like, oh, who knew?
Anyway, I just want the healing skin to grow.
It's coming.
I honestly, I feel like everything started to calm down for me when I spoke to Lisa. And I was like, she's got me. You know, we'll get through this together,
you just
me and
feel
Lisa.
held.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then thank you. You're sorting out my week. My mum as well as being amazing. It's like, we're all good.
Meanwhile, your dad.
Love you, Dad.
Love you, Dad.
I'll come to you for business advice.
Everyone's got their lane.
Not everyone's good in a crisis.
It's okay. I'm a bit deer in headlights. It's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the story of the toe. Once I have skin and once I can drive, we're all going to be gravy. I don't care what it looks like. I know it's going to grow back funky or it's had trauma, whatever. I don't give a shit. I just want to be able to be independent again. I think that's the thing. I don't like asking for help. I don't like not being able to look after myself. It's very stressful.
It is.
My life is that house of cards thing that both you and I have where it's like, it's all good when everything's working, but one little thing goes down and the whole thing is fucked.
Yeah. Hang in there, my friend. You're doing great.
Thanks for being here today, guys. Hope it didn't make you sick. Thanks for holding space.
It was quite a roller coaster journey.
I'm a stupid toe.
Oh, babe. And as always, DLs, we will be back in your ears bright and early on Friday with a Bestie hotline. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We love you.
Bye.